Hello, check. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. And yeah, let's get right into this video. So, we have a big winter storm that's about to hit the U.S. This weekend with very, very cold air. That's going to be hitting majority of the U.S. So, that's why we have extreme cold warnings being issued. I would not be surprised if they get it quite a bit. But yeah, storm watches across the south right now. Uh, so, uh, and we have lake effect snows kicking off right now, or that's about to kick off soon. And we have more cold air. So there's that. Talk about uh, through here because of the fact that when this next storm pulls through, it's going to have a lot of wind with it, a lot of cold air. So, all right, let's take a view at satellite. Our storm system off the coast of California. So the border of California is right here. So our storm system off the coast. It is going to take a drive like that. So it's going to take a drive like that. New low pressure system is going to develop out of here, and it's going to take a drive up that towards the northeast for the time being. So and then so we have this energy number one here with which this system is likely already bringing in, helping bring in moisture already. And then we have the very cold air pretty much that's pretty much going to start filtering in once this storm starts plowing through the U.S. So, uh, so yeah. So this cold air that you see up here right now, it will help bring in a massive, massive winter storm across here. So yeah. And then so that's pretty much what the satellite is showing right now. Um, and then yes, right across here today, Hurricane Hunters did a box to bring us more information. So we have three more Hurricane Hunters that are going to fly around this low pressure system to better understand on what they can put into the models. So late tonight, around the 00Z model, that will have the latest and the better understanding of this storm system right here that will bring in a massive ice storm and snowstorm. So, no severe weather for this one. A lot of cold air. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So we're going to look at the GFS. This is right now. As you guys can see, we have massive cold air plunge already settling in ahead of the storm system. We have a Alberta Clipper just moving through the north right now. So let's take a look here. Let's do this, and there you go. So let's go about right there. Sounds great. All right. So as you can see here, we have this high pressure here, which will determine how far north the snow wants to go. And then our low pressure system is pretty much on land now. I don't know where it's at. Maybe it's right down here, but I don't know. Um, I don't know where the low pressure system is, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere already on the U.S. by by this time. But we have a high pressure here, which is going to dip down the temperatures more, because high pressure means calmer weather. Low pressure means much more unsettled weather. So right now, so at this time we will have some rain. We will have very cold rain in Texas and snow starting to pop up. So this is about 40 to 54 hours out. Then we'll go about 54 to 66 hours out. And then, as you guys can see, we have our snow event starting to starting to take effect. We have our ice storm starting, or uh, sleet starting to ramp up, and we have ice starting to ramp up across Dallas. And then across Little Rock, Arkansas, southern Oklahoma, we have sleet, and then we have very cold rain. So, so right in this general area, the heaviest, that's where you're getting about 1 to 2 inch per hour snowfall rates about that time. So, and then let's take a further more look out. GFS is not really responsible, but I want to put out at least two models, or show you two models, which would be the GFS and the European model. European model is more reliable than the GFS, but it is a model. So so as you guys can see here, by what the GFS is showing, very very intense snow across Tennessee. But this, but by what the GFS is showing, is showing very a lot of dry air, a lot of dry air, so barely any snow with this, uh, but it's going to be enough to drop several inches across the south, and then it shows barely any ice, but but basically a sleet storm. And then you still have your freezing rain line right here, and then your cold, and then your cold rain. So, um, yeah, and then eventually by this time, your low pressure finally develops up, which will start to filter in uh the cold air, which by this time by this time you'll actually start seeing more of a better picture of heavier ice. But and then you have your major sleet event right here, and then and then your snowstorm is actually more dominant by this time. By this time Sunday. Um, so by this time Sunday, and then eventually leaves the coast. So and then and so on. So we're gonna go to the European model, and we will go over fork accumulation and all that once we get through. So here's the European model, which is more reliable, and so um, so pretty much right here is your low pressure system, which is going to take a track like that, something like that. So you have your snow popping up, you have your freezing rain, and your cold rain. Um, which right across here, I want to roll out freezing drizzle for your Saturday. Thursday doesn't we don't really see anything. It's mostly Saturday, Friday night, into your Saturday morning is when we start actually seeing things pop off. European model is showing more ice than sleet, and then it looks like we might have enough energy right in Texas to actually have thunderstorms to actually flare up, or may not even be thunderstorms. It may actually just be a very heavy, intense rain, which eventually is going to sweep up in here, which would not be a good sign because the heavier the rainfall, um, the more the more of the weight of the ice accumulates on objects. And then we have our snow here. So there's that. And then that's your Saturday, and then we get your Sunday, which if we continue this out, we have a very, very intense ice storm unfolding across here, which looks to be, this area looks to be going to be hit the hardest by this at this point. And then very, very intense snowfall across here. The upper Midwest is going to vary on the high pressure, which is looking more likely is going to stay towards Canada, but still filter in that cold air. Um, but it's a very weak high pressure by what the European model is showing. So let's go to about here. So, and then about here, we're now experiencing a catastrophic ice storm across Carolinas, and we're still dealing with a catastrophic ice storm, but it's going to start lining up as we get that new low pressure system to start filtering out towards this direction. And then, as you guys can see, we have very, very intense rainfall rates, including down here. So the darker colors of green, the darker colors that you see here is very heavy rainfall, which is all going to filter in this area, which is likely going to bring right in here 1 to 2 feet of snow. I wouldn't rule out 1 to 2 feet of snow. Mark the area better. Right in here, 1 to 2 feet of snow is now ruled out. And then I would say probably right in here, depending on how I wouldn't rule out at least around 2 inches of ice across the Carolinas and Virginia, and then right across here. Actually, so I would say probably right in here. I wouldn't rule out possibly 2 inches of ice. So, so right now it's time to prepare and not freak out. So let's go and look at the snow forecast. I can't look at ice because you have to buy subscription, but we'll look at snow forecast for the European model. We'll go out to Tuesday, or let's go to Monday. More realistic. So, like I said, like I said, right. All this pink here you see right in here is going to be around 6 to 12 inches. This darker color that you see here is going to be more of your close around 2 feet of snow, which right I would say right in here is probably unrealistic to see 2 feet of snow, more of the 1 foot of snow, but your 2 feet of snow right in here is more realistic because of the amount of moisture is going to get pulled into the storm with a developing low pressure system and a old low with an old low pressure system. Um, so, and then right about in here, right in here is going to be questionable. Uh, actually, I'm gonna make it smaller. It's gonna be about right in this general area is gonna be questionable to see how far north that heavier accumulating snow wants to go. Uh, wants to go. So, so let's go to here. I got to. I don't think it's gonna let me show the accumulation. So pretty much, this is GFS showing the exact same thing. More, more sleet than ice. Uh, and then right here you have your European model. Um, so like I said, we're gonna have a little bit of a warm notch in there. So yeah, it won't let me show uh the ice accumulation, but uh actually yes I will. I gotta go to program. So this is a site that I like to go on. This combines the National Weather Service, everything, all the models all together. It does not go out to here yet. It just shows the first part of the weekend, or it goes all the way up to Sunday of 00Z. So it shows 8 inches across here, and then a lot of these areas 6 inches right across here, and then darker blues is your four 4 to 6 inches. But this is not the full amount yet. This is just that. And then if this was a so if this overperforms, we could have a huge area of a foot of snow across Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas. And then we could have 8 inches across southern Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. You get it. So there's all that. And then let's go to our ice forecast. Like I said, this doesn't show the full thing yet because we are expecting a monster ice storm across the Carolinas. So, um, so, so this is high end. This is not full. This is not the exact forecast, but this is if the storm overperforms. Right here is going to be over an inch of ice. It's not exactly 2 inches, but spots could reach 2 inches if we overperform. But this is what the storm could do. This is a blend of models altogether. We could see a lot of these areas. We could see around 0.50 in a lot of these areas, 0.25. I'm gonna I'm gonna circle this area. This area, I expect to I expect that this area. Hang on. Let's go to uh. Okay, I'm gonna circle this area right in here. This area right in here, I expect to see over an inch of ice, maybe even two. And I may even expand it like that. So this area, I wouldn't rule out at least 1 to 2 inches of ice. And then I would say probably right up in this area, I expect 1 to 2 inch of ice too, which is basically will crumble. Basically, that amount of ice, if it does happen, will crumble the infrastructure. So, so there could be days, there could be power. out for at least a week in some areas. So, in which if you're up in the mountains, up in the Appalachian Mountains, whatever you want to call it, it could be even longer because you have to navigate through all the roads and stuff. And if there's trees covered in ice that are collapsing, yeah, there ain't no way for anybody or any power crews up there to reach to restore power. So, um, in which if we're expecting this cold air at the same time too, it's going to be a while. And these are just regular temperatures. So so I mean, if you're expecting temperatures down in the 20s and 18s and 19s, it's going to take forever for that ice to melt. And then especially right in here, it's going to take forever for that ice to melt. So yeah, that's pretty much the scenario that we are looking at right now. So if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, uh, turn on post notifications, and comment. If you want to know if you have any questions or anything, I'll answer them in the next video, or maybe I'll stream. I don't know yet. But yeah. And then yes, I will be posting I'll be posting on TikTok too. So I do have a second TikTok account just for weather. So that's gonna be it. Peace.